Hello! My name is Second 814, and I just got back from seeing Suicide Squad. And basically, the well, let me just say the critics are either, or one, really, have really poor taste. Two, who don't like movies where you can't movies is what they can't tell who the or three really big DC haters because this movie was amazing. I didn't. There was not a single point in this movie that I did not like. Like, so. Oh yeah, what's it about? Well, basically, in the short run, and a bunch of supervillains are assembled by the government and to fight an evil force that and if they disobey, they get their heads blown up. Yeah, that's basically it. So let's get it right down to it. So, basically, yeah, this movie is awesome. I don't know why the critics gave it such bad reviews. Like I said in the beginning, they probably either really hate DC movies, or they just don't like films where you can't tell who the bad guy is, because that's one of the main themes of this film is the inability to determine who the actual villain is. Well, okay, hey, there is an actual real villain, but the fact of the matter is, you can't really tell who's the villain in this film. They're all villains. They're all evil. They've all committed horrors in the past. Like Will Smith's character, Deadshot, he's a freaking trained assassin, killed an untold number of people. Well, Robbie's character, Harley Quinn, in a complete loony. We have El Diablo, who I am very sorry I forget your name now. El Diablo, he basically murdered his wife and kids, not on purpose. Well, I should say he murdered because that wouldn't he actually meant to kill them. But anyway, he killed his wife and kids, and of course we have Killer Croc. Sorry, don't forget your name too. His name too. And granted, he's probably the least developed character here, but honestly, I like the most. Killer Croc he's just a genetic freak who lived underground and couldn't. But anyways, so yeah, I liked this movie a lot. It was great. And like I said, it's hard to tell who the villain is. These characters. Yes, we have Amanda Waller, and then we have the other villain, but still, it's hard to tell who between. And we have the Suicide Squad, who are villains themselves, and you don't really know who to root for in this film because Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad are all villains of DC villains, or super villains. You have the evil villain, the one who I guess is supposed to be the villain here of this film, and then you have Amanda Waller, who is one of the best, who is so well acted. I thought Viola Davis did amazing as Amanda Waller. You can tell that she does not get intimidated at all. She will stand there and stare you down, and she will not back down. She would literally stand in the gates of hell and stare down the devil. So yeah, I thought, and basically one thing I think is done very well here, and I want to get this out, is the relationship between Harley Quinn and the Joker. Who, by the way, Jared Leto's Joker is amazing in this. Even though you don't really see much of him. I thought he did well in every shot he was in. But yeah, the relationship between Harley Quinn and the Joker is a little different than what we've seen and what you're used to. Harley, in the past, we've always seen that Harley Quinn is basically is in love with the Joker, and with Joker being in love with her, but basically there's no real. But basically, the Joker is. How should I say this? He kind of treats her like a sidekick rather than a lover. Here, on the other hand, and there is an actual love between the two. Basically, Joker is. There's no like. It's not like some sort of a one-way connection or anything. And well, I shouldn't say a one-way connection, but it's no love and abuse like we've seen in past. Here, there's an actual bond between the two. They're actually in love. And basically, after Joker got out of Arkham Asylum, thanks to him being able to seduce and manipulate Harley Quinzel into Harley Quinn, you can tell that there's an actual real love there. As in several, every time he's on screen in the movie, he's basically trying to reunite with Harley Quinn, which I thought was great. Do something different than the traditional Harley Joker relationship, and Harley Quinn, who definitely stole the show in this movie, and yet, she is truly a wacko in this movie, but that's not just. But she's not just a complete wacko. She's not just a one-note psycho. She has, you can tell that even though she loves the craziness, she's not. She also has feelings too. And yes, I'm going to get this out there now. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is hot. I'm just going to say that now. That I think that yes, I found this Harley Quinn to be incredibly attractive. Okay, hey, it's out there, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I'm not going to try, or because it doesn't really need to be talked about how she's attractive. She's an attractive Harley Quinn, end of story. But back to characters. Harley Quinn is there, and again, yes, she stole the show, obviously, because Margot Robbie just knows how to play her character. She knows how to steal the show. And I thought she was there. Harley Quinn was there well acted. The other character I liked in this was Will Smith's character. Well, I shouldn't say liked, but I think the other best character in this was definitely the Will Smith's character, or Deadshot. He is the man who can't miss. However, we also see that he's not just unlike a Deathstroke or Oak. He's not a heartless, cold-blooded assassin. I mean, yeah, he's a freaking hitman, but yeah, he's killed a bunch of people, but he's got a soft side. The guy has a daughter, which we see that he clearly has feelings for, and that's big, and it's awesome. And I think that part of his character is awesome. And the other character who I thought was good when he had major scenes was El Diablo. And I'm sorry I forget your name now. But anyways, El Diablo, he's not just some crazy pyromaniac. The thing about El Diablo is he is conflicted because basically he was born with the ability to manipulate fire, and he would use it to rise to power on the streets. But unfortunately, in an instance one night, where he and his wife got into an argument. He he lost his control of his powers, and he unfortunately, sadly, ended up killing his wife and his children. Not on purpose, but he did kill them. And you can see throughout the film that he doesn't want to use his powers. Now, he does hours again. He wants to refrain from that. He wants to. He just want. He doesn't want to use his powers. He doesn't want. He doesn't really want to hurt anybody else. He wants to live out the rest of his jail time in peace. He wants to die in peace, which is pretty interesting. There's also Killer Croc, who I thought who is one of who I think they're kind of using as a semi-comic relief. I'm not sure. He doesn't really have that many lines, but he'll get. But besides him and Captain Boomerang, he'll get you some. I thought there were some lines of his that I did laugh at. But yeah, Killer Croc, he's played it how he should. He's the weird mutant genetic freak. He's. So yeah. Captain Boomerang, I think he's probably the least character developed. He's also part of the comic relief, but hey, I thought he did pretty well. Even though you don't see much of what he can do here, but I don't go here. And so yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I thought he was good too. And so, getting onto Amanda Waller, the controller of the Suicide Squad. Her character was amazing. Viola Davis did an awesome job portraying Amanda Waller. Like I said earlier, you can tell that this is a character who would literally he stand up to and will literally get in the face of the devil and stare down the devil. She won't back down. Now she wouldn't back down from hell itself. So, she's Elf. She is cold. She is evil, cold-blooded, and only looks out for herself. And Viola Davis does a wonderful job of portraying her here. And so, finally, on to Enchantress. Who is, surprise, the villain of the film. Well, not just her. With her here, the big twist of this film is that basically Enchantress, Cara Delevingne, I think the actress's name is. Basically, the Enchantress is what ends up happening is she takes control. Is Dr. June ends up basically the Enchantress is able to come through Dr. June and become the dominant personality. And basically what happens is she escapes before they can put a tracker in her neck. And what ends up happening is she basically takes control. She basically, in fact, uses her power to control another human being and unleashes her brother, who is basically the alien, the weird alien, and destroying the train you see in the trailers. But basically, she is the villain of this film. And yes, I'm using air quotes because once again, it gets hard to tell who the villain of this film is, and I think that's one of the film's strong points. Basically, she unleashes her brother, who helps her build this ultimate machine, or her doomsday machine, which never really comes to fruition. And that's one of the biggest twists in this film is that basically basically, the Enchantress is the villain of the film. And do I think this is and do I think that it hurts the film? No. I think it actually adds to it because you don't see it coming. Well, you will now if you watch this video, but anyway, it's not something that you would see coming. That Enchantress is one of the villains of the film. Oh, excuse me. But anyways, yeah, he tries to build this massive machine type thing to destroy the world, and basically in the end they end up stop up the heroes, using air quotes again because they're basically all supervillains. They do stop her, and it's fun. And that's what I have to say is that the base how they stop her is pretty I think is pretty well executed. So basically, in the final scene, or actually I should say when they're trying to stop her, they're basically they're hiding behind the pillars, but she can always sense that they're there. And what ends up happening is she basically tries to get them to join them by essentially tempting them with illusions in their minds. Like, for example, she implants this vision in Deadshot's mind that he killed Batman and that he got to go home with his daughter. And then there's also the vision that she plants in Margot Robbie's mind that she and Joker got married and actually have 2 kids. It's Captain Flag. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. Basically, it was that Enchantress was never there, and they're happy together. And of course, it really goes wrong with El Diablo. She tries to plant the images. She tries to make him get surrendered to her by implanting a vision in his mind that his kids, that he never actually killed his wife and kids, but basically, excuse me, El Diablo owns up to it and basically says that it's not going to change what he did, and basically it helps the rest of the team snap out of it. So, basically, the Enchantress's brother is this big dude who they can't defeat until El Diablo comes in, and basically he turns into this gigantic flaming monster, and basically just battle with the Enchantress's brother. And while they're doing this, basically Killer Croc, and some Navy SEALs, yes, Killer Croc participating with Navy SEALs. They're in a flooded passage, is waiting to blow up a bomb, and basically El Diablo sacrifices himself, and they blow up the Enchantress's brother. Now, granted, I will say that at Diablo transforming into the gigantic monster is a little out of nowhere, but I was willing to accept it. So, yeah, that was good. I thought that was well done. But I think my favorite scene in the movie is basically the bar scene where where after Deadshot discovers exactly what a Task Force X is there for. Therefore, that they're really there just to stop the Enchantress, who is basically the Captain Flag's girlfriend, and he walks off, and everybody else joins him in a bar, and they have this, and the bar scene is probably my favorite because we basically get to see that yes, that's basically the scene where we see that yes, these characters are not just one dimensional. These characters have depth to them. We depth to them. These characters, they have feelings, they have emotions. They're not all cold blood killers or just weird, crazed psychopaths. Yes, and that's I think that's one of the best scenes in the movie, that which is literally right before or the scene where they go and stop the Enchantress, who in the end basically is banished, or I should say killed, which is interesting because because I think, as I believe now, that she was a part of the original Suicide Squad. I'm not that big on the comics, so I don't know. And of course, there is the mid credit scene that shows was Amanda Waller giving a book of information to Bruce Wayne, and basically and what I think and we're basically left to assume that it shows it has information on the Suicide Squad, but also members of I'm pretty sure it probably has members on other supervillains too, as well as, or I should say, other metahumans as they're called here. Probably, which I think is probably leads into Justice League, but you never know. So, oh yeah, ah, that's Suicide Squad, and yeah, there's a lot more I didn't cover, but once again, and this was a great movie, and I thought the characters were well acted. So I hope. Oh, it's time for the final verdict. The final verdict for Suicide Squad is an 8 out of 10. Would I recommend going to see it? Absolutely. Absolutely. The great laughs, great fun. And so there you have it. Suicide Squad, 8 out of 10. Go see it. And, well, that about wraps it up for this video. My name is Second1814. Thank you so much for watching. May the wind always be at your back. See you next time.